Welcome back to Poke Academy. Today, we're not just talking about Flamethrower. We're talking about a move that has survived every generation of Pokémon. A move that has been trusted by champions, gym leaders, casual players, and competitive battlers for more than 25 years. And somehow, even after hundreds of new moves have been introduced, Flamethrower is still here. Still relevant. Still one of the most used fire-type attacks in the entire franchise. So why has Flamethrower stood the test of time? Let's find out. To understand Flamethrower's success, we need to go all the way back to Generation 1. Back then, Pokémon battles were very different. Many moves were either too weak, too inaccurate, or simply too unreliable. But Flamethrower offered something special. It wasn't the strongest move. It wasn't the flashiest move. But it effective. Simple. Even today, Flamethrower remains a special fire-type move with 90 base power, 100% accuracy, and 15 pp. Those numbers may seem ordinary. But that's exactly the point. Flamethrower was designed around consistency. And consistency wins battles. Because no matter how powerful a move is, it doesn't matter if it misses. That's where Flamethrower separates itself from many of its competitors. Take Fire Blast, for example. Fire Blast hits harder. Much harder. But it can miss. And competitive players know that one missed attack can lose an entire game. Flamethrower doesn't ask you to gamble. It simply gets the job done. But power and accuracy aren't the only reasons trainers love this move. Flamethrower also has a 10% chance to burn its target. And if you've ever been burned in Pokémon, you know how frustrating that can be. Not only does burn deal damage every turn, but it also cuts a Pokémon's attack stat in half. That means Flamethrower can sometimes cripple physical attackers without even trying. A single burn can completely change the outcome of a battle. Now let's talk about the targets that fear Flamethrower the most. Throughout Pokémon history, Steel types have dominated competitive play. They are bulky. They are resistant. And they are incredibly annoying to break through. Unless your opponent has Flamethrower. Pokémon like Scizor, Ferrothorn, Corviknight, Kartana, Forretress, and many others absolutely hate seeing this move. In fact, there have been entire competitive eras where simply having Flamethrower on your team was enough to keep certain Steel types in check. That's how influential this move has been. Of course, Flamethrower isn't perfect. Water types resist it. Rock types resist it. Dragon types resist it. And fire types laugh at it. Some Pokémon barely notice Flamethrower at all. Then there's Heatran. One of the most infamous counters in Pokémon history. Because of its flash fire ability, Heatran doesn't just resist Flamethrower. It's completely immune to it. And even worse. Getting hit by Flamethrower makes Heatran's own fire attacks even stronger. That's the kind of mistake that can instantly swing a battle. Because of these weaknesses, experienced players rarely rely on Flamethrower alone. Instead, they pair it with moves that can punish common counters. Solar Beam. Focus Blast. Dragon Pulse. The goal isn't just to deal damage. It's to make sure your opponent has nowhere safe to switch. And that brings us to another reason Flamethrower has remained relevant for so long. And the chance to completely ruin someone's day with a burn. So how does Flamethrower score in today's Poke Academy lesson? Raw power gets an 8 out of 10. Accuracy earns a perfect 10 out of 10. Utility receives a 9 out of 10. Competitive impact gets another 9 out of 10. And legacy? A perfect 10 out of 10. That gives Flamethrower an overall score of 9.2 out of 10. Not because it's the strongest. But because generation after generation, it continues to prove that reliability is one of the most powerful abilities a move can have. And that's why Flamethrower remains the fire move every trainer learns. Thanks for attending today's lesson at Poke Academy. And remember, sometimes the best move isn't the strongest one. It's the one you can always count on. See you in the next lesson.